What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense. And I feel like the theme for the night is going to be.
That to be true. I just thought it was funny.
And you could have did it.
See how I get wrong because you never apologize.
No. Like the video as the intro plays, we got a lot to get into.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense to me intellectually.
Make it make sense. You know what was up.
Big Mims.
Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Faison. I have a pot-bellied pig named Fat Faison, who is like just a real joy to be around. And the goats they're all named after famous people. Jay-Z and Fat Face.
Okay, so you guys know Mike Tyson's having a big fight tonight with Jake Paul. And I'd seen this and he was on the list, but let me show you what confused me first and we'll move to why I'm understanding a little bit more. I saw this video with Mike Tyson and I was like, what was he on? I didn't get it. Not saying that we don't know Mike Tyson and took a whole bunch of hits to the head, but check this out and y'all tell me how you feel about him giving this little girl this interview.
Return to the ring for this fight. You are setting a monumental opportunity for kids my age to see the legend Mike Tyson in the ring for the first time. So after such a successful career, what type of legacy would you like to leave behind when it's all said and done?
Man, I don't know. I don't believe in the word legacy. I just think that's another word for ego. Legacy doesn't mean nothing. That's just some word everybody grabbed onto. Someone said that word and everyone grabbed on the word, so now it's used every 5 seconds. It means absolutely nothing to me. I'm just passing through. I'm going to die, and it's going to be over. Who cares about legacy after that? What a big ego. So I'm going to die. I want people to think that I'm this, I'm great. No, we're nothing. We're just dead. We're dust.
Look at the little girl's face. This is still a kid. This is the most professional kid. I kid you not. She's gonna do big things. The way she handled this, I don't even know if I could, like, what?
Absolutely nothing. Our legacy is nothing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That is something that I have not heard before, someone say that as an answer.
Can you really imagine somebody say, I want my legacy to be this way when you're dead? Why do you want?
In your return to the ring for this fight, you are setting a
Why do you want somebody? You think somebody really wants to think about you? What's the audacity? I think I want people to think about me when I'm gone. Who the fuck cares about me when I'm gone? Well, my kids, maybe, or grandkids.
True.
Why do you want somebody? You think somebody really wants to think about you? What's the audacity? I think I want people to think about me when I'm gone. Who the fuck cares about me when I'm gone? Well, my kids, maybe, or grandkids.
True.
Why do you want somebody? You think
So I was ready to go off on Mike Tyson until I saw this, and now it makes more sense. I feel like the guy is beat down inside and out of the ring. It says, wait, what? Mike Tyson reveals he and a friend had a threesome with a woman who had AIDS. They did it without condoms, and he didn't catch it, but they both passed away from the illness. Mike Tyson is giving us a little TMI about the wild sex life he used to have throughout his career. While talking with Rosie Perez for Interview Magazine, he explained his view on life and how he knows it's not his time to leave the earth just yet. Hey, life isn't over yet. We're still fighting. We only make it out on the day of our death. There's no way I should be here talking to you right now. All my friends are dead. if he really does feel like this, then it makes sense why he just speaks the way that he does. Even how he spoke to the little girl, he doesn't really feel like he deserves to be here. A lot of people who survive other people feel that way. Like, how is it that I'm the one that survived? You see that a lot. Tyson then explained how he dodged having the illness after he didn't contract the disease despite being intimate with somebody who had it. Because he didn't get sick, he believes he's meant to keep fighting in the world. They OD'd. They had an illness. Me and my friend both had sex with this girl at the same time, and they both died of that illness. I didn't catch it, and I was raw too. That's crazy, Perez said. You have a spirit hovering over you, in which Tyson replied, amen. It's something, sister. Yeah, survivor's remorse. Because I couldn't figure out. Also TMI, you're right. Also a little TMI. Do I want to jump into this one or I want to jump into that one? Okay, let's jump into this real quick. So I was talking to my members today because I did a video yesterday and I'm not backtracking on it. The video was about one of Diddy's survivors who talked about the twins and made an allegation that Diddy had been with his two twins. When I come and talk to you guys about stuff, I'm not just doing it from my vantage point. And I don't think, I talk to the members and they feel kind of like my therapist feels. I should fill you guys in on more of the background and the specifics. I want to be a voice, a person who supports those who feel marginalized, those who have survived really horrific things. I never want to be somebody who goes against those core values. But when I come to you guys with a story, I have talked to survivors, attorneys, paid for my therapist to make sure that I'm not saying or doing something that would be irresponsible to somebody whom I want to help. With that being said, I don't retract my statements about Audra English. In the video yesterday, she alleged that Diddy had been with the daughters. The conversation was always going to be about a victim who then re-victimizes other people. I don't feel like that is discrediting her because I very clearly said I believe her accusations about Diddy, but I'm extremely clear on what a victim can do to victimize other people. So when you make statements like that and you go to multiple large sites and say those things, it will eventually get to these two girls. So let's say that those two girls have been victimized by their dad. That's their story to tell, or whomever has knowledge of it who can go to the authorities to make sure it never happens again. But I talked to my therapist about it. And sometimes I pay my therapist to talk about these topics so that I can be responsible. Nobody pays for that. I pay for that out of my own pocket. So in that story, if you haven't seen it, it definitely is not me discrediting Audra, but just pointing out that in that situation, she victimized other people. And if I can't come on my own platform and have that kind of conversation, then there's no reason for me to even have a platform. Yeah, you'd have to check out that video. I just saw this right before I came on, and it says the Combs twins honor their mother, Kim Porter, on the 6-year anniversary of her passing. I don't know too much about these little girls. I just know that they lost their mom and they have a demon for a daddy. If he hurt them, again, it's going to be for them to tell their own story and also for the authorities to tack on those charges to Diddy. So, I don't just throw out flippant stuff. I try my best to source stuff. I could easily just come out and say any shit. We see it every day. There are 50 channels who just throw out crazy, crazy shit. I don't think that you guys come to my channel for that. I always tell you can have your own opinions, but I got a lot of heat as if I was trying to discredit a victim. On the back end, at this point, I'm constantly talking to survivors and victims. And yeah, we'll just leave it at that. You can check out that video, but I definitely wanted to let you guys know I don't just come out and throw stuff out here. We got what? We have almost 2,000 in the chat. Definitely hit that like button if you're new to the channel. Please subscribe. I did not expect this on my bucket list. The daughters of Malcolm X sue the FBI, CIA, and NYPD over his death. I could not find the actual. I couldn't find the actual lawsuit yet, so maybe it just hasn't been uploaded. But once it does, of course, I'll bring it to you guys because they're alleging that the FBI actually knew and helped plan his assassination.
We here today officially announce the filing of our $100 million lawsuit against the United States government, the FBI, the CIA, and the NYPD, who we believe all conspired to assassinate Malcolm X. It is not lost on us that justice has been delayed in this matter. And on this momentous occasion, we stand ready to lay out our complaint very soundly. We believe there is solid ground to go forward with this lawsuit at this time. We here today officially announce the filing of our $100 million lawsuit against the United States government, the FBI, the CIA, and the NYPD, who we believe all conspired to assassinate Malcolm X. It is not lost.
As soon as this lawsuit hits, because I want to hear all the details. I mean, I think they said that they had his security detail removed like days earlier before the assassination attempt happened. I don't put anything past anybody, so I'm here for this. I feel like justice was not served, and we will see it. Goddess Knows says, most well-adjusted adults will muster up a positive message to encourage young people. Mike Tyson is like a real-life Oscar the Grouch. Absolutely. But you know, he gets hit in his head for a living, so who knows what's going on up there. Do y'all think Mike Tyson is going to win his fight tonight? Is it illegal to bet on fights? Before we get into this interview, shout out to what is her name? Candiace from the Real Housewives of Potomac for having her baby. But is this a flex, y'all? She says she paused the labor for 10 minutes to put on makeup. Now, this is her first child. I didn't know you could pause a labor. Do you push the head back in and set a timer? What goes on with pausing the labor? As far as I understood, when the baby wants to come out of the baby door, the baby pops out. If the baby doesn't want to come out and she's been cooking too long, then you induce. I have never heard anybody pausing a goddamn labor and then sharing it to social media. I like Candiace, but
you thought you ate with that shit? It didn't eat.
Oh, they said she should stop pushing. I don't even. Good luck, Candiace. I'm happy you had a healthy baby. Chanel's reality. Rest in peace to Sheila Jackson Lee, because Sheila and her braid would have been right there on the front row in the camera. Shout out to Sheila Jackson Lee. Thank you, Chanel's reality. Butterfly Mama said, Crump doesn't have a law degree in Cali, but is practicing law. Just saying. Really? This lawsuit was filed in New York, more than likely through the Southern District of New York. But like when I said I looked it up, it's not showing that yet. Baby Door came from Jolene. Okay, y'all, we're about to get right into this. I don't even know what to say. Suge has outed the entire industry in this interview. Shout out to Michael Francis for getting the interview. I will link it in the description of this video.
Everybody knew what was going on with Puffy for years. The higher up was doing to him. He repeated what they were doing to him, and he does it to everybody else. And that's a cycle that's been going on in the music business. Like, I never was at those parties, a good thing for that, but I never was officially a part of the music party life. I was in the music business, doing what I did to do to take care of me and mine. No more, no less. And I think all the stuff that we can share, it can be a life lesson learned.
I agree, Suge. And you know something? You know, my position always, because of my experience, you know, with law enforcement throughout my life and with the government, you know, for me, it's always innocent until proven guilty. I don't care what it is. You know, I know how these people play games, and no matter who it is, I feel that way. But, you know, this stuff that's coming out with Puffy, I mean, if any of it is true, and again,
Lovely Nolan said the AP posted a lawsuit 4 hours ago. I just checked within the last 30 minutes. It's not showing. So maybe they got an advanced copy. People are known to give TMZ, the Associated Press, advanced copies, especially if they know that they're doing some type of publicity run about it. It's not showing for me in Pacer. So I can check after this video and see if it's up, and we could talk about it tomorrow. Or I'll go to the Associated Press and try to find it.
I have no knowledge either way. I haven't spoken to anybody. I haven't gotten into it. My own question, how does it go on for so long? You know, when we were on the street, we didn't get a day's rest. I mean, the government was all over us. The FBI is all over us. They got investigations on us. They got informants. They got surveillance equipment.
But he was not cutting you off, but he was an informant for years.
Was he really?
Yeah. That's why when people was like, oh, he's going to run, he's not. It's the reason why these type of people get caught up, they always been feeling they're bigger than the law because they're part of the law. You know? And as you know, all these people get tired of their rats sooner or later. You know what I mean? Yeah. But at the same time, you know that. You can't, it's one thing, when I first got to sharing it, right? I come from the state where we don't fuck with the police, we don't talk to police, and they trying to talk to us, we curse them out. So I get to sharing, and this black officer kept trying to speak to me. And I went to speak to him. He said, man, why you don't never speak to me? I said, man, I don't know who you deal with over here. We don't have no conversation with the mother police, you're the police. So one day he said, man, I just want to say words to you, one black man to another. All right. He said, this night, they want you, they continue to want you. He said, the FBI, the government is so advanced, they can have planes that you can't see, but can reach your license plate. They say most of the people you want to talk to, your guys, probably wearing a wire. And I didn't say nothing then, I thought about it. And then as life went on, everything is cameras, everything is conversation. For a guy, a part of a certain world, and you never go to jail, and you never go to prison, it's impossible.
In your opinion or knowledge, how long was he an informant?
I think probably since the 90s.
Wow.
We had a conversation before. And look at the things he was able to do. He was able to do all these things, nothing happened. His friend, one of his partners, they got convicted for selling drugs for the company. Nothing never happened to him. And he got Obama to give him a pardon with no problem at all. I can go to Obama and say, hey, my childhood friend is in prison for life, let him go. It would never happen.
That's for sure. And that did happen with
We
Puffy.
wouldn't be happy. Yes. 1,000%.
You think Obama had anything to do with any of these parties that he had?
Absolutely.
Wow.
You got presidents. You got.
Now, as far as I know, Puffy did an initiative called Vote or Die in the early 2000s, which pushed minorities and young youth to vote. So there was interviews with Obama because he had this initiative. I never heard anything about an involvement that was not above board with Obama and Diddy. If some of y'all know about it, let me know. I just never heard of that at all. I never heard of that before. Now, we did find out that an executive, I think it's a female executive at Bad Boy, did receive a pardon, and it was for an old drug offense, but Suge said that it was a man. So I don't know. We'd have to talk to Suge. We have to talk to Suge. I was about to say we got to talk to Suge Avery. We got to talk to Suge Knight. Those are the only two Suges I know. Suge Avery and Suge Knight. I said I didn't say that he helped. I said he did an initiative called Vote or Die in the early 2000s that helped people push the vote. And he interviewed Obama in 2000. I believe it was 2004. Before Obama ran, I believe. But, let me know.
Preachers. T.D. Jack is one of the biggest black preachers around that everybody loves. Everybody in prison, if they try to get the word of religion, they're not going to the chapel somewhere. They're trying to watch T.D. Jakes. He had to resign from his whole community.
That's right.
You talking about the top of the top.
Unbelievable. Man, I got a lot of questions with this guy, but you answered the first one. How do you get away with something like this for all this time with all these people that are allegedly involved? I want to tell you this. I was in the same tier, the same cell that Epstein was on. And Suge, there's no way in hell that guy could have committed suicide on that tier. I was in there for 7 months. There's no way.
And coming from you, I know you didn't know the truth. And I personally didn't think he was going to commit suicide. But the thing is, he had from Oprah Winfrey to everybody on that island. Anybody with a weird fetish, and that's what underage kids was on that island. And everybody knew it. So it's not like it's a situation where all of a sudden, maybe, there's been a talk. And you know as well as I know, like you being on the same tier as him, he probably was going to tell it all. He had himself,
No doubt. No doubt in my mind at all.
They made sure he did.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no way he could have done it. First of all, they're watching all the time. There's cameras, and just so happens that one particular time there's no cameras and no one monitoring that. I had eyes on me 24/7 when I was there. So, I knew it was impossible.
Always.
Yeah.
You have that one time to yourself.
Nothing.
You're always watching yourself.
So
always. No, yeah.
Let me ask you this: what do you think is going to happen with Puffy at the end of the day? You think there's going to be a cover up with this because the right people are involved and they'll cover it up? I think it's gotten to a point where they can't cover it up anymore.
I think. Well, I know pretty much. I can't say I'm 1,000% factual about the shit, but we know where it came from. It's this thing. Puffy been repeating what they've been doing to him for years. How he started off, and it was okay to do what he was doing. At the same time, I feel one of the biggest mistakes he made was going against the liquor, the alcohol guys. And bootlegging been around. That started with the Kennedys.
Right.
Kennedys became president because they started with bootlegging, was liquor, and they gave him opportunity to get into that business. But he did a great job for them. A lot of people thought Ciroc they didn't know what it was, and they thought it was nasty. And all of a sudden, he started promoting it and marketing it, and became big. And he both had gave him $1,000. He never gave him nothing. After it came amazing big at the same time.
Now, a lot of people feel like what Suge is saying has some validity. A lot of people feel like that liquor brand is there's so much money tied to it that once Puffy no longer, I don't know, he didn't pay any money, but Puffy did very well with sweat equity. He made Ciroc a thing. I had never heard about Ciroc prior to Diddy talking about it all the time and it being Diddy's brand. He's a little off though. In court documents and all the records do indicate that Puffy paid them $1,000, but it was kind of like just a joke. Here's $1,000, but I'm going to make this brand into $1 billion brand specifically. They have a lot of liquors, but Ciroc, he put that on the map. I don't really know what happened with their business relationship. They made a lot of money together. Towards the end, Puffy told them that he was going to let the world know that they had some racial issues, and then they cut ties with him. Soon after that, Puffy's life started going downhill. So a lot of people feel like there is some validity to what he's saying, especially regarding the liquor brand.
He wanted more of the pie. I'm not saying he didn't deserve more of the pie. I didn't say he did because I went in that meeting. What I did know, when they didn't give me what he wanted, he turned around and told him that he was going to sue him. He was going to tell him he played the black card. I'm going to say you guys are racist. I think once he told them that they was racist, they felt a certain kind of way, like saying, wait a minute, we was good to you, now you're going to call us racist. And you know as well as I know, one of the fastest ways to just destroy a brand is somebody a racist. Child molester or racist, right? And so I'm quite sure they took it as he trying to destroy them. And the oldest saying in the world is that if you live in a glass house, don't start a rock fight.
Right.
So when he started a rock fight, that opened up the box for them to go look. Since he had the skeletons in his closet, they attacked him.
Friends, Michael Franzese here, and do you believe it? The holiday season is upon us already. So that's an offer that you should.
His company was built with, and one thing led to another, one thing led to another. But Puffy always participated, and a lot of his people participated in law enforcement. So I guess they figured, this is a guy that gave the key to the city. This is a guy that they know for a fact his company was built with drug money. They know for a fact his partners ended up in federal prison for distributing cocaine. Everybody knew for a fact that he got them a partner to get out of prison, federal prison, and gave him, he got out, the opportunity to make money in this company.
Okay, so for anybody questioning Suge, I question everybody on everything. It's just how my mind works. But I will say that when you reach certain income levels, you become privy to sometimes some really effed up knowledge that you had no idea. Suge was at the top of his game for a minute, for a while. I'm pretty sure he was privy to things that the average person is not. I think part of the reason why there's so much interest in Diddy's story is it kind of lifts a veil off how the other side lives. And, you could get that from watching all these reality shows and seeing about money. But when you get into the deep, dark crevices of how these people live outside of the flash, I think that is what's driving public opinion. I don't believe everything that everybody says. I just don't. How you guys feel, I let you guys feel how you feel on this platform. But I do think that Suge has been privy, just like a lot of extremely wealthy people who are connected. They are privy to some of this stuff.
So that's not a regular mother from the ghetto who just jumps in the water and swims land. That's somebody from the ghetto.
That too.
That always had a past and always had favors from the law enforcement to do what he wanted to do. And while we swimming, get to the land, he was getting a ride from the boat. Big difference. And how you can know that to be factual facts. There was a situation where I got plucked out of prison. So when I got plucked out of prison, we're going to the Soul Train Awards. At the Soul Train Awards, you have Puffy and Bad Boy and Biggie. At the awards, you got me and Pac in the same vehicle, and we all going to the awards. Now, we probably had close to 100 guys from Compton, all in sweatshirts. In fact, we all was in ghetto wear. And you had a whole bus full of guys from the Bay. We all heading to the Soul Train Awards. There was a guy that did security for us that called the police at the Soul Train Awards. Said, hey, you might not want to let them in. They coming to the awards, and we deep. That alone was a Judas move, but it happened. When we got to the gates to get into the awards, they said, like, if I come in, we might come in, or we might can't come in. We leave our vehicles. One of our vehicles, my Hummer was in, was blocking the driveway. Everybody else was on the street. The vehicles was left in the street. We had to get through by foot.
Only One Adrian says, even if the liquor company theory is true, that won't get him out of these charges, and it doesn't negate the evidence they found in his house. His attorneys can't argue it's the liquor company's fault. Absolutely. I think what they're saying, Only One Adrian, is that he tried to go up against somebody who had the ability to take him down. Think of that Florida potential governor. What was his name? He was a black guy. He was running for governor of Florida, and he had some pretty good chances. And Florida is very red. What was his name? Gillum. Is it Gillum? What they're basically saying is he bucked the system. And just like when Gillum bucked the system, he was like, all of his stuff got spilled. The fact that he was with that male prostitute, and they found him with, needles in the room, and he had used the restroom on himself. That's what they're saying. I don't think anybody is saying that Diddy is innocent. They're just saying that maybe the liquor brand got the wheels in motion to get him taken down. Because we now know that Diddy had a network of people to protect him. I think that's what they're saying. Florida native said, who is Gillum? A Democratic candidate for governor a few years back. Thank you for the
coming in. They trying to come out. We all seen Puffy run and go hide on a limousine. At the same time, the police was on us. And we having this altercation to get past the police. A guy pulls a gun. The guy pulls a gun was a gang member from Compton on a different side of us. Nobody panicked, but they knew where he was from. They knew what happened. So when they said that, crazy thing about all this is that they know what gang this guy was from. And I'm not saying the gang, but it's only obvious. But if you want to know, it's no puzzle because it's a police report. They take this guy with a gun, nothing happens. Everything go away. Now, move forward. When we got shot in Vegas, they say, this is the same gang that's with Puppy. Nothing happens.
Again.
When the guy involved in jail, when they saying, you're the guy who's involved with the shooting, Tupac ended up, and Tupac's dead. I got a bullet into my skull. Whatever it is, what it is. But at the same time, there was a war in Compton. Everybody who knows anything about anything in Compton, that war, they all salute my neighborhood and say we won the war. There's no puzzle.
Here we go.
The guy who's in prison, in jail, waiting for trial, told authorities a long time ago that he paid them to do that.
Puffy paid him?
And at the same time, there's no puzzle. He said 1,000 times. And they tell this, even from his on the platform, say how it's done. Then on top of that, right? Give me ID.
Not a light-skinned Thanos.
Started Interscope with TST. When they started Interscope, they're about to go bankrupt in 2 weeks. I told them not only would I save their company, but I'm going to give you the highest company in the world, therefore Records, which I did. They claim they love Tupac, but at the same time, Doug Morris is Jimmy Boss, who's running Universal. He gave Puffy a deal, did big money, but it flopped. They lost money. Jimmy Iovine, under the same umbrella, gave him another big deal before they recouped the money. You don't recoup what you lost already, they're going to give you more money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they did.
Why do you think they did that, Suge?
Because one, the other stuff they're doing. You know, it's not about me telling all people personally, but you know as well as I know, all these people use cocaine. All these people use drugs.
Yeah.
All these people mess with underage boys and girls. So it's like them, like even though I don't know you, and if you came to the yard I'm on, I'm going to send you a pet catch and give my guys to give you some. I say, he's a solid guy. You know, even though we're from different states, different race, but he's solid. Here, go look out for him. Like we'll look out for each other who's solid. They're going to look out for each other who do the weirdo stuff. And you know it's weirdo stuff because they involved with pregnant young girls, trying to beat them up, and giving Puppy money come from Interscope or Universal for hush money.
Yeah.
Who would do that? Nobody in the business. But when you look at all those type of things, the biggest victim of all this, believe it or not, he might be a weirdo. And I'm not saying everything they allege that he did is true, but a lot of stuff we all been knowing is true.
That's Jimmy Iovine.
He the fall guy right now. It's not one celebrity that he hung with is speaking up for him. Snoop and Puffy was so closer than most.
Really?
They would do things together and party together and do things that it was uncomfortable for two men to be that way. Clark and Trey, Russell Simmons, you know.
You think
everybody knew what Puffy did. This the big question is this. It's not one person that know that Puffy was Usher. It's not one person that know what the saddest thing in the world is what they did to Justin Bieber.
What was that?
That's sad.
What they do to him? Because there's a lot of speculation out there, but nobody. I mean, I've heard things, but what did they really do to him?
They had sex with him
when he was a kid.
I hate to say that, but I hate to say that because I really like Justin Bieber. I feel bad for Justin Bieber, and this is when it happened. If Justin Bieber came from a wealthy family, Justin Bieber pretty much came from a poor family, but the young man was so talented, and he could have been bigger than Michael Jackson. But the depression of the drugs and the stuff they allowed these grown men to do to this little boy is unhealthy and it's fucked up. No grown men supposed to be getting high and doing drugs and drinking with a kid.
Hey, Suge, you know, yeah, Justin Bieber has been getting this out in different ways. You know, you could see it in his music and just what he's been trying to say without saying it. So, I mean, I think everybody knows what you just stated to be true.
I mean, you had grown men would take Justin Bieber. A grown man take Justin Bieber when he was young to a vacation, a romantic vacation, showing pictures on the Instagram with no women, nobody else but a grown, successful man and this little kid. And if you and I was going on vacation together, and regardless if the wives mad or not, it's definitely not going to be me and you. It's going to be mad because we're going to have some there. Oh, I'm not going to be sitting on a romantic island, just you and me.
Hell
you
no.
know what I mean?
Hell no.
I'd rather take the chance. I'd rather take the chance of my girl saying, hey, you know, you up there having parties and all. You right. She damn sure ain't going to say this, you and I on a romantic island. That's us.
Hell
so
no.
when they took Justin Bieber and just them, that only is a bad look. It's sad.
Yeah.
But the worst part about it is everybody said what was done to Usher, and they done to Justin Bieber. And the thing with Usher spent the night and him and Puppy being in the same bed to do an album. They never did one song they put out at that time. On top of that, when I met Usher, I came on one time.
No, that's not the only time I've heard that about Diddy. Also, Diddy started partying with The Game, and they partied for a long time, and no music was ever produced. The Game had to basically stop being around Diddy and find his own way outside of, you know, Bad Boy in order for his music to start getting out and actually making music. So The Game was just hanging with Diddy. There was no music.
I'm sticking to the guy because he got good songs. That's out of respect. Like a young black man. This dude rolled his eyes at me. And so somebody came over and kept saying, Suge, you know, don't have one of your guys do nothing to him. He a good young man, but him and Puffy got a thing. He a thing. He said, he gave me a look like, you know. And I thought about it. The way he rolled his eyes at me wasn't like somebody homie wrote it. It was like I beat up somebody, man. Like I beat his, he the bitch. Like somebody threw it out. Like you beat my boyfriend up. I ain't speaking to you.
Really?
It's one of those, right? Yeah, for sure. And the crazy thing about it is like Leslie, his mother, and everybody else said the same thing. Well, it was wrong, but if we go and get Puffy in trouble behind that, Usher wouldn't be Usher. He'd be known as the guy who got molested by Puffy, and they didn't want that. They wanted the money.
I met Usher back in, I think, 1999 or 2000. I did a concert up in San Francisco, and I had Usher and Casey and JoJo and a bunch.
And some people are actually alleging that there are videos of Justin being shopped. But very good point, Ian.
You guys back then, he was a nice kid at that time, man. He was respectful, and he did a great job. I guess this was before Puffy got a hold of him. My friends, if you enjoyed this version and you want to see the full uncut interview, you can go to Frenzy's.
I mean, you said you just concert with Casey and JoJo, and Jodeci Devante is one of the greatest producers, greatest guys in the world. Those guys, I love all those guys. But they had their run in, which they know the truth. Everybody in the industry know what's been going on. Everybody know which one's taking it, which one's not taking it. But you got to realize one thing: this didn't start just with Usher and Justin Bieber or Puffy. It started with Michael Jackson. It started with, we can go on and on. Now Puffy was being with L.A. Reid and Babyface. And fruit don't fall far from the tree.
Yeah.
If you want to know the truth of the fact that it's not nobody going to tell you that neither one of those dudes enjoy men. And when you really look at the situation in Hollywood, most of the guys reason why it's bad for the gay community, because the gay community look at it like this. At least you know they get it. These guys saying they're not gay, they're just having fun. So they really know everybody, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, in Hollywood, a guy who's a homosexual, you got to get him.
Hold on really quick. Sure. Caprice says, can you please go a week without mentioning Diddy? I feel like I didn't come on for like 4 days last week, and then I tried to go on Friday and my lights messed up, so I canceled that. I don't think I went on Saturday or Sunday. That's about a week, right? Or are you talking about Suge? Are you talking about me or Suge? Because I definitely take breaks, but I feel like just last week was a week. I feel like that because there was 4 straight days off. No work, no nothing.
Married right away. When Andre Young told me immediately that he messed with men, I had to get him married right away. When all these guys, it's no different, but when you look at it, you take Tracy Edmonds. Wonderful woman. She was trained like other women was trained to mess with guys who's gay in the industry. It's called a cover-up. Even if they got to have a baby bomb, even if they got to make them look good. So when you look at the people that she was married to Babyface. Everybody know Babyface and Thomas was lovers and a whole bunch of other people. There's no puzzle. Everybody knows at the same time that she was married to Eddie Murphy. It's not a situation where don't nobody know, and they never talk about Eddie Murphy, right?
Right.
And she was also married to, with Deion Sanders.
Really?
Well, nobody expect prime time to be prime time, but
no.
21 and 21, more ways than one. So these are facts that have been going around in the industry. So it's like, okay, so anybody in the industry been knowing this was going on. And they create.
Now, I ain't never heard nothing about Deion Sanders. But I have heard certain things about men in this space being partnered with women. A similar situation would be Usher and Chili, and we've already kind of talked about that. If you're new to the channel, maybe you hadn't heard, but Chili allegedly had something going on with L.A. Reid. L.A. Reid then sets Chili up with Usher. So it's like you've been kind of like jumped into this scenario and you're cool and you're chill, and now we're going to team you up with Usher. I have heard things like that. Now, I did not know anything about Tracy Edmonds being like a professional beard for gay men in the industry to get married. I had never heard that before, but I have heard similar things about people who are jumped in and are cool and can kind of put up a smoke screen for some things. I have heard that.
This monster kept growing and growing and growing and growing. Now it's at the point where so many people been destroyed, lives been destroyed. More importantly, it's a bad day for hip hop. And I'm not jumping up and down because Puffy's in jail. I'm not jumping up and down because he's gonna get what he got coming if he got something coming tonight. Because when you really look at it, I was in the room that I have a problem with somebody and don't like somebody, but we can solve it. I'm not one who want to put the police on somebody. One thing you gotta remember, I would still say Puffy still deserves a fair trial. And I know I can get a fair trial. There's a guy named Garrickos who's a wonderful lawyer. But Garrickos' daughter is representing Puffy also. So I would throw him a play. The real play is this. Puffy can get bail. Only way he need to get bail is the lawyers need to go in and say, hey, put him in a hotel where he can't leave a hotel on a high floor, and they can pay 24 hours police security watching the door. And they would get his man bail and then stay there while he's doing his trial. Because he's still innocent. He hasn't been proven guilty yet. They worried about him being a flight risk or threatening anybody or molesting some boys or girls, whatever they want to say. Put him in a hotel room on a 30th floor. No access to the phone stuff. His kids can come visit him and come see him. His mother can come visit, come see him. And let him have a fair trial. Because his life is in danger while he's in custody. Because he knows too much.
Let me ask you this. Yeah, I think for appearance sake, they're afraid to do that. But I got two questions. One, Clive Davis, his name has been thrown around a lot now, and he's not speaking out. I know some people that know Clive, and I think he's got concerns. Now, he's a powerful guy, no question about it.
At this point, Clive is like 90. Clive Davis is like 90, 91. Who knows? Clive Davis is just, looking for a comfortable pair of shoes. He's definitely, if he then kept them secrets for 90 years, he's not letting them out now. And I feel like he's probably one of the people who is concerned with legacy, unlike Mike Tyson. And I don't even know that he would let them out after death. He's just trying to make sure that there's no piddle paddles on the floor. And him and his dog going out to his Cocker Spaniel going out to eat and waving to fans at these trendy restaurants in and around where he lives. Like, that's really all Clive does at this point. He ain't telling nothing, especially nothing that would dampen his legacy.
Would you ever hear anything about him?
Puffy and Clyde, according to Puffy and everybody else, they've been lovers. Shit, Clyde know Ray J, Clyde know Puffy, Clyde know everybody. Clyde's that type of guy. And if you notice, somebody sent me a clip one time on my tablet, and somebody asked Clyde about Puffy. They called me, they asked him about it. He acted like he didn't know who the man was. Yeah. Like he never knew him. I mean, what did you hide, Clyde? Yeah. At the end of the day, Clyde is one of the guys who got away. But old as Clyde is, he should be able to tell the truth. It ain't like he got a lot to live on earth. I'm quite sure he's slowly coming to a painful end, But anybody's judged differently, and what I mean by that, you take the Menendez brothers. They all over the news. Anybody get out of prison, I'm fine with that. But you look how it starts on the politics of it.
Yep. Let me ask you, knowing Puffy like you do you think he'll stand up? Can he take the jail time?
Well, I think Puffy will be all right in prison. Because you got to realize one thing. I don't want to put it out there like this, but if the allegations that everybody's saying is true, they got a lot of babies on in prison, and they got a lot of motherfuckers going to be happy. No family business in prison like you got in the state. In the second thing about it, people say a lot of things about Puffy. Puffy's not an idiot. He might be stupid. He's not an idiot. He's smart. He know how to use money and navigate through the federal system. I'm quite sure he's going to hook up with, some area and pay them to feel good one way or another. But me personally, I think they should give Puffy some type of deal to the fact that they didn't tell it all like he wanted to tell it all. Because I'm quite sure it's a whole bunch of secrets. Puffy's more like a guys who do those type of crimes is, I hate to say it ahead of time because he's still innocent to prove guilty, but if everything's true, guys who sexual predators or serial rapists is no different than a serial killer. They keep photographs and videos of their victims. They got a fetish to go back and watch them. They got all Puffy's videos and pictures, so he have a lot to say and a lot to prove, and I think he's going to tell it all. Matter of fact, I can't see him falling and nobody else falling with him.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, and so many people have been silent about it. You hear things because I got my ear to the wall with some people I know in the industry, and we're hearing things. I don't want to mention names because the names haven't been mentioned, but silently we hear it, and nobody's saying anything. A few people are running scared from what I hear, but we'll have to see how it all pans out. But I don't think he's going to go down alone. That's my opinion.
Well, one thing about me is this: I don't believe in everybody going by rules that a lot of us go by. And I know you're going to do what you're going to do. I'm quite sure you're going to turn it off. But at the same time, in a way, it's a good thing because this been going on. I don't believe in taking advantage of the people who's not part of the game. We playing a football game. We on the field. We doing the hitting. We know what we signed up to do. The person in the stands who's watching the game should get hit. So, far as the industry is concerned, they've been manipulating that industry, and they're not doing all these sexual acts and getting all these people on drugs just to get them on drugs and just to do the sexual acts. They're not doing all these sexual acts just for enjoyment. They're doing it for control. They're doing it for the power. They're doing it for blackmail. They're doing it for when one of these guys get out of line and show them that picture or show them that video. They say, "Do you think the people want to know you're involved in this?" And I think that if Puffy get up there and tell the truth, it's going to finally stop the weird shit in the industry that's been going on since the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and even now. But he shouldn't be the only one getting punished for these shameful acts. If two men get into a fight and somebody gets beat up, I don't have.
Good point. Diddy should not be the only one. He definitely needs to be charged, and he definitely needs to do his time or whatever the courts decide. But you have an open mic. Do you know anybody else who deserves to go down? Why aren't you talking about it? Suge knows a lot. Go ahead and let us do what Cat Williams says. That's what needs to happen now. You just need to do what Cat Williams says and just let it all out. Is it over here? Here we go.
It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves. All people that love the truth got to be happy if the truth coming out and lies is getting exposed. That's just what time it is. 2024.
Go ahead and let it all out.
No problem with that. If somebody's beating up a woman or raping a woman, I have a problem with that. If somebody you go out.
Now, he might run over people with his pickup truck, but what's her name? The lady, she has a really funny voice, but she sings really, really good. She had that song. What is it? She has a baby by him. Something in My Heart, maybe. What's her name? Michelle A. Michelle A says that it was actually Suge Knight who heard that she was getting beat up and helped her get away from Beats by Dre. So when he says that he does have a soft spot for women who are getting abused, that is true. If you're a man, you might get run over by a pickup. That's why he has a 28-year sentence right now. But in terms of abused women, he definitely does come to their aid. Then he might date them, but you get what I'm saying.
Taking little boys.
No,
like
I never heard her say that he beat her.
Industry, I have a problem with that. I think it's absolutely wrong to take a poor person and tell them they got to give that another man put his penis in their mouth for a record deal. That's just not fair. And it's not acceptable. And I think that
I watched Michelle A's thing, and I remember her distinctly talking about the abuse she suffered at the hands of Dr. Dre. But she said Suge was the one that never actually hit her. Now, some people are saying in the chat that he left her penniless. I don't know about that, but I do know that she said that he wasn't hitting her.
Prosecution, if they really care about culture or hip hop or the music business or the entertainment business, because some of these people are actors and actresses too. Let's stop it once and for all. Put it on the table. Let probably put that shit on the table. Ones who participated are doing some of these underage people, it's a problem. And they wouldn't give me a break. They wouldn't give you a break. They don't give us a break even when we right.
That's for sure.
But I do feel for Puffy's brother. I do feel for all of Puffy's kids. One of his kids I know well, Justin. I know he got 2 twin daughters. You know, I don't think that's something to run these people's lives over something their father participated and did, and he did not act alone at all. If you and I are the guys,
I stand corrected. It says in '99, Michelle married Suge while he was in prison. She filed for divorce 6 years later. Michelle discovered that her marriage to Suge was invalid through the divorce process because he was still married to his ex-wife, Sharitha. Michelle stated Suge hit her once, dislocating her jaw. So I stand corrected. He did hit her. Ray Ray says, Mims, please continue to report on Diddy. This is a major part of many of our childhoods when there was no social media and back then, and actually could find ourselves in their spaces. I do think that a lot of this is a cautionary tale. So thank you, is it Riri? I appreciate that. And Dog Mom, Mims, I heard today Stevie J Flip working with the feds, Ghost and Diddy. I did see that he was in that new TMZ documentary. We're going to talk about him tomorrow. Thank you, Dog Mom. I appreciate you.
We all getting punished. So what's the difference if Puffy's not acting alone, that no one else in the industry getting looked upon? It's a real sad day. Not one person to eat with him, slept with him, woke up in the same day with him, don't even say hi to him. It's crazy. It makes no sense.
No, you're right on that.
My opinion.
You're right on that.
It's good and it's an honor to talk to you, man, because, you know, you put the truth.
Okay. So, you know, y'all, I've been going over. There are a lot of people talking. This is hours and hours and hours of footage. So as I hear things, I'll let you guys know. As always, you can put in the comments how you feel, whether you believe it, whether you don't believe it. I've seen you guys in the chat kind of going back and forth. I do think that there's some truth to what Suge is saying. Now, I don't know about everybody he outed. I'd never heard anything about Obama like that. Not Obama having any ties to a Puffy party or anything like that. But, you know, we're in Two Truths and a Lie Day. Sometimes people put a little extra seasoning on stuff. Either way it goes, thank you guys for being here. We'll definitely be back tomorrow. I don't know about Sunday, but we'll definitely be back tomorrow. You guys have a good day. Oh my God, this news cycle is moving so fast. Y'all have a good weekend. See y'all later.